Greetings and welcome back. Today is part 3 of the Colorado River, its entire length, from its headwaters in the Rocky Mountains to the Sea of Cortez. Today we're starting at Wahweap Marina at Lake Powell, going through the Grand Canyon, and landing at Lake Mead by the Hoover Dam. 30 degrees of flaps. Let's give her some juice here. And super clear, you can see the rocks in the bottom. Now we're cooking with gas. Patience, patience. I'm gonna turn this pig around. Watch out for that little sandbar. And we're gonna take off right towards those buildings in the marina. And we're just above the stall speed now. And there we go. We're going to get rid of our flaps and head towards the dam. Pick up the propeller pitch back a little bit, kind of redline them. This lake obviously is named after General John Wesley Powell, who was the one-armed Civil War vet who was the first white dude to go down the Colorado River in rafts from, and we're going to head due south past the town of Page, Arizona, and Glen Canyon Dam, which is the dam that forms this lake. Glen Canyon there, and the dam. Dwight Eisenhower actually started the construction of the dam in 1956 by pushing a button remote from the Oval Office and blowing up a section of rock. 1966, Lady Bird Johnson dedicated the dam. And by 1980, the turbines and generators were all in place to actually start creating electricity. It took 16 years for the lake to fill to capacity, to 3,700 foot level. And of course, it's low now because the West is in a drought. Okay, that was pretty cool. So that's Glen Canyon Dam back there. And this is Glen Canyon, directly below us. Okay, so what's coming up on our left here is Horseshoe Bend. It's a very famous location that's been Instagrammed and Facebooked to death. It's quite the photo op. There's a parking lot, some restrooms, and you take a short hike to the edge, and you take the picture as if you're the only one who's ever been there before. And it's very exciting. So now we're going to go ahead and buzz through Horseshoe Bend here. And this is the famous photo. Okay, so right now we're headed toward Lee's Ferry. John D. Lee actually started a ferry pier taking people across. He opened this crossing in 1873. He was hiding from the law, and he was involved in the Mountain Meadows Massacre, where a group of Mormons and Native Americans attacked a non-Mormon wagon train from Arkansas. Over 120 people were killed. 4 years later, he was caught and arrested by the government and tried for his role in the massacre that was made. He was found guilty, and he was executed by firing squad at Mountain Meadows on March 28, 1877. He was the only participant in the massacre to be tried and executed out of the over 50 men who had participated. His wife came back and ran the ferry for a few more years. The ferry continued to run until 1928. We're flying over Marble Canyon right now. There's not too much to see here. So we're probably going to fast forward a bit. So the Little Colorado joins the Colorado straight ahead. All right, so what we're flying over right now is the Little Colorado River. Looks like some whitewater there, some waterfalls. You're looking straight ahead here at the south rim. And we're going to fly over by Grand Canyon Village. Okay, well, there's the airport over there. And that is the Grand Canyon Village down there. Alright, we're going to get back over the river and we'll get back. Okay, so we're going to drop down and we're going to go check out Bright Angel Campground. And man, look, I'm really pushing the speed here. Starting to get a wee bit narrow. Okay, so what we're coming up to here is the Phantom Ranch, Bright Angel Campground, the Bright Angel Trail. I mean, this is a huge spot for tourism. If you've been down in the canyon, if you've hiked down into there, there's a really good chance this is how you came. Another bridge, but the campground is right down there. And Bright Angel Trail, well, I didn't spot the trail. We ain't going back. Alright, so now we got a bunch of river like this, so I'm going to climb up so we can make some speed. And I will see you at the next point of interest. I mean, here's some of the fun stuff you can do when you're flying. I mean, it's just fun. Pick little passageways and fly through them. I mean, look at this rock on top of here. Man, it looks like fun, does it not? Well, let's get back down to the river. Sounds like an old hymn. Let's get back. Oh, look at that shot right there. That's beautiful. Let's drop right over. Oh, yeah, that's fun. And we're back on the river. Really nice graphics here. I mean, I think they did a pretty good job on the Grand Canyon itself. As you get closer to the water, it could use some work. It's fun to fly in these canyons. The canyon is incredibly long. And around every turn is shot like this. Okay, so this is Mohawk Creek on the left in Mohawk Canyon, and Stairway Creek, Stairway Canyon here on our right. Over here, that's Mohawk Canyon. Right now, it's kind of a race to get to Lake Mead. I mean, look at that scenery. All right, well, we got some miles to cover here. We'll check back shortly. Okay, so we're in the Grand Canyon West. In fact, the Grand Canyon West Airport is right there on the left if you look out the window. Right there. Just my seat. And the Grand Canyon West Skywalk, you know, that glass thing that sticks out over the edge of the canyon, that to me is absolutely ridiculous idea. It should be somewhere over here. Well, I guess it's beyond the airport a little bit. I don't see it. It would be right on the edge somewhere. Maybe that's it right there. Okay. Maybe that's it, or maybe that's a Pizza Hut. All right, well, that was kind of the last thing for us to check out in the area. Maybe we should land in the river. Why don't we take one quick dip into the river before we end up landing at Lake Mead? In order to this much altitude this quickly, I'm really gonna have to stress this airplane out. Right, look at that, we're doing 180 already. We're dropping like a rock anyways at 2,000 feet per minute. And this airplane isn't falling apart yet. All right, now we're gonna lose some of that speed. If we get below 120, if that ever happens, I'm gonna drop some full flaps here. We're almost to flap speed. In fact, we're going to get 60 degrees of flaps right off the bat here. Look at our airspeed drop. Of course, our lift increases. We've got to make sure we don't stall. Where are we going to land? Is this going to be straight enough? All right, let's go for it. We're just going to do a touch and go. Full throttle. Well, that was fun. Flaps back to 0, and let's climb back out. Next stop, I'm gonna have to say Lake Mead. Right to our right is what's called the Grand Wash Bay. And actually the Arizona-Nevada state border is right in here somewhere. Got a little bit turned around and lost the river, if that's possible. We lose the river. So down there is called Sandy Point, right where the river comes into the lake. I don't think we're going to land up the very upper end here though. We're going to get down a little bit further, and we're just going to cut across this mountain. Okay, so we're going to bring it on home now. This has been a long flight. Of course, it's been edited for brevity. And right down the river, a little bit of fun stuff, and into the main part of the lake. I'm not sure what altitude the lake is at. That's a really good question. So you know what? I'm just going to drop it over there on the beach. I'm going to do full flaps here. Also got an island out there, wouldn't that be cool? Careful not to stall. I'm going to try to just land it in the water and roll into the sand. Alrighty, I'm going to head toward that island. Gear down. And we'll just park it right there. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. If you've enjoyed today's flight, feel free to leave comments in the comments section about what you'd like to see next. And don't forget to check out part 4 of the Colorado River, where we'll go from Lake Mead to the Sea of Cortez.